We are no one. We are everyone. And we are invisible. Tick tock, 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 tick. Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Legger representing Team JVS. I'm back here again for another review for the Watchmen. This is episode 3 of the first season. What a series. Like, so I feel like I'm gonna be just focusing on talking about Lori, but I can backtrack. So spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen episode 2 or 1 of Watchmen. So in episode 1 we found out that the captain was murdered. He was hung up. The black guy in the wheelchair claims he was the person that did it. Regina King's character goes and finds him, interrogates him, doesn't do anything to him, doesn't arrest him, but he claims that he still did it. And then she finds out that's her grandfather. On top of all that, she finds out that the captain had a KKK like robe. And I'm not sure. I always thought I always thought that he was the Night Owl. But then comes this episode 3, where Lori, the Spectre, herself, makes an appearance, and it seems to be a regular because she is very much so her mom and her dad. It is. I don't know how to put it. It is amazing acting because I see semblances of her mom and her jadedness and her trying to go and do this and certain things that she does with other people towards the back half of the season. But all throughout, I was like, this is the comedian. She might as well be called the female comedian. Like oh my gosh, the actress that does this such a good job. Oh my goodness, because when she goes and meets with her captain, meets with Regina King's character, meets with Glass, like she commands the room. Like, if in all honesty, like if she didn't leave to go back to the FBI, she could probably stay there and run all of it. Like for real. Like she really could just run it all. And it's insane because she's an anti-vigilante, like police officer essentially. Like that's her rules. Like she loves to go against like heroes, and it's like, yo, do you see yourself? And then like this long going joke that she keeps on trying to send back to Dr. Manhattan is crazy too, because she's like legit like, resurfacing everybody's stuff. Like, I think that they alluded that the Night Owl is still alive. On top of that, where he is. I don't want to spoil it, but like if you pay attention to the wording and the dialogue and the verbiage when she's talking to her captain, her superior officer, I was like, oh. And then when she's talking to like the senator, like, oh, wait, what? Then you got Adrian Voight. Like, oh my gosh, your boy Jeremy Irons is just killing the game, fam. He is so, like, his acting in this is just so on key. And it's like, there's something that happens in the second act that I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a living comic book show. Like, in a world where you have like Doom Patrol and Titans and like shows like, of course, Game of Thrones and Westworld, like now you got the hybrid that is Watchmen. Like, they are killing it, bro. And then on top of that, Regina King, like she commands rooms too. Like she didn't press up against Lori. Like she was like, all right, bet, let's go. But then like the funeral scene, yo, Regina King, yo, she's the GOAT. Like, she is the go-getter in this season. I cannot wait to see where this goes. One thing I wanted to say in episode 2 that I didn't get to say was the fact of they changed history. I think I started alluding to it where Nixon was, indicted into being the president, but then all these other things started to have this ripple effect. But the biggest thing about it is African Americans, they got reparations. And so instead of like them being in a situation where between the 60s on up to the 80s in a situation of having to go on the come up and having to go and stretch to go and get this, and like they're not in a situation where drugs was put into the neighborhood. They're not in a situation where they're being undermined or demeaned based on just who they are. Like they are legit actually given something to be able to move forward, to platform themselves in every area that they have moving forward. It's just crazy because it's still, even though that happened, it still didn't stop the racism. It still didn't stop all the bigotry. It still didn't stop like people from getting killed. It still didn't stop some of anything. It's better, but then it's not. And I think that one of the things I love about this show personally is the writing is on it, man. Like the writing is so good. Like when Regina King went to the museum and just took a little bit of swab and was like, okay, you will be getting this based on your DNA, based on that. And that doesn't just mean black people. Like if you're mixed or if you like have, like they are legit your family, like it still is connected to you. So it's really interesting how that worked. But the technology in this is actually really on point because they showed holograms, they showed like different weaponry, they showed different things that happens, and I'm just like, this show, bro, this show is insanity. But if you pay attention to Laurie's joke, that tells you everything about what happened to the core members. One thing that they've yet to talk about, which I'm waiting for, so that this whole Rorschach's cavalry situation can just be squished, is somebody really going and talking about who Rorschach really was. You know what I'm saying? And I think Glass knows. I feel like if any other character like embodies Rorschach, that's him. Like every way, to be quite honest with you. But I think that if Night Owl is alive, he'll be the person to tell that. And I don't know who they're gonna cast to do that, but either way, I'm all for this. I love it. Hope you guys enjoy this review. Keep it locked. JBS, we ain't gonna stop. I gotta go. Peace, guys.